Like I said, he was superhuman in the playoffs, and I think you're the best pitcher in the world. Just if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the World Series. But for him to, go 2 complete games and a back-to-back starts, not only win Game 6, but then take the mound that very day on no day's rest, and not only that, but to throw the most outs out of any of our pitchers that night was he delivered. Us, your teammates, we believe in. We think you're the greatest, and then obviously the rest is history. He had an unbelievable season.
速報です。ドジャースのキケヘルナンデス選手がトークショーに出演し、山本由伸選手について
ポストシーズンは人間やめてるレベル
と大絶賛しました。2人の関係が熱いのは山本選手が不調だった2024年から始まっていて、キケ選手の強力なバックアップのおかげで山本選手はとんでもない成績を叩き出しています。それではここから一気にご覧ください。
From Mexico City, after being at the Bad Bunny concert last night, to be here with you, what an experience last night must have been, and for you to be here is incredible. You are truly on a world tour.
Yeah, something like that. Last night was a blast, and I'm hoping that today is as fun as it was last night, but I'm just happy to be here. Anytime I can be in LA with some Dodger fans, it's always a good time, and like always, thank you guys. Thanks for the love.
What's it like to be as beloved as you are in this city? I mean, these people showed out for you. Wherever you go, it seems like there's always a big following, a big group of fans.
It's overwhelming at times, but it's truly appreciated. It's very humbling to know that I'm supported and loved as much as I am here in this city, so far away from my home in Puerto Rico. But that love always goes back to them, and it's been 9 years on this team, and it's been the best 9 years of my life.
Back-to-back World Series champions. It happened so quickly. What's it been like for you since the parade, just soaking in what you guys were able to accomplish?
Well, I had surgery, so I didn't have much time to think about it, but the only thing that, it comes to your mind is, let's do it again. Simple.
Three-peat has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, I think that's trademark, so we can't do it, but I like to go back to back to back.
Have you watched any of the highlights of Game 6 or Game 7? The play specifically that you made to end Game 6?
I watched it a few times, but the one that's always everywhere is when Pajes almost killed me, so I've watched that one a few times.
And when you see it from that angle, you were involved in it. From what I understand, did you believe the ball fell? And when you watch it, do you still think the ball is going to drop before the play is completed?
No. When I think about it now, when I look at it, is one, I still think I could have caught it. Two, I don't know why he jumped, but I'm just glad he caught it. That's it.
Is it true that you thought the ball dropped and you thought you lost the World Series before he let you know what happened?
Yeah, because I had my back towards the field, and then I was slowing down to get, I was basically underneath the baseball, and the last thing I thought was going to happen was somebody was going to run me over, and as soon as he ran me over, I thought there was no way he was going to catch it. I was underneath the ball, and he ran me over, so we lost. And as I'm on the ground, I'm just thinking, we just lost the World Series, and I'm laying on the ground. That's going to be replayed forever. And it's still being replayed forever, but for the other reason.
Yeah, no doubt. Everybody's very happy Andy Pajes was able to run you over and catch it. When you look back at what a close teammate of yours, Yoshi Yamamoto, was able to do, we think back to you taking him out after one of the Padres games in the DS last year. Whatever you said obviously worked not only last October, but the entire season. How proud are you of Yamamoto and the warrior that he was for you guys this year?
Really proud, obviously. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have won the World Series. But, basically our conversation it was just basically telling him, man, I think you're the best pitcher in the world. Just go out there and show people who you are, and he's done nothing but that. And for him to, go 2 complete games and a back-to-back starts, and then not only win Game 6, but then take the mound the very next day on no day's rest, and not only that, but to throw the most outs out of any of our pitchers that night was incredible. He truly put a Superman cape on, and he delivered.
Is it fair to say, going back to last year, you may have believed he was capable of doing what he did more than maybe he was before having that conversation?
Potentially, yeah, and that's why I, decided to take him outside of, a team environment without a team translator and all that, and I basically just wanted him to believe what I believed in him, and I'm sure he's never really lacked confidence, but at times, being in a different country and I've been on that mound, even though I'm not a pitcher. Sometimes it's the loneliest feeling in the world. So I just wanted him to know that, your teammates, we believe in you. We think you're the greatest, and then, we're right behind you, supporting you. And, he was able to relax a little bit and deliver that Game 5 against the Padres, pitched really well Game 3 against the Mets, did the same thing again in Game 2 against the Yankees, and then obviously the rest is history. He had an unbelievable season, and like I said, he was superhuman in the playoffs.
So is Kike Hernandez, who is as clutch as they come in the month of October. The Dodgers yesterday made it official, signing a fellow Puerto Rican, Edwin Diaz. Everybody's so excited about Timmy Trumpet. Does anybody have Timmy Trumpet on their phone yet? I know my son's playing it every time he goes to school. I find it hard to believe that Edwin Diaz, leaving the Mets after all these years, never called Kike Hernandez. He actually said that he tapped into you about how they treat families with the Dodgers, but how much did you play into recruiting Edwin Diaz?
I played a little bit of a part. I called Andrew and I let him know that, the interest was legit, that the Dodgers were not just leverage, and, that we had a real opportunity of going after this guy and getting this guy. In my mind, the best closer in baseball right now. And, once I knew that the negotiations were getting real, I reached out to Sugar and I let him know that, you at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you and your family. But the one thing that I can assure you is that if you end up with the Dodgers, you're not going to regret it one bit. You're going to be just fine. Your wife and kids are going to be just fine. I told them the worst thing about the Dodgers organization is that they're so far away from Puerto Rico, and if that's the only thing that's bad about an organization, you're in pretty good hands. And I just let them know, man, like, you come here, you're going to have a chance to win year in, year out, and I think this is the peak of baseball. And as far as an organization, I think this, we play in the big leagues, and the way that the Dodgers treat their people is the way that it should be everywhere, but unfortunately it's not. And lucky for us, we get to experience that, for 162 games plus. And I just let them know anything you need. Your wife can reach out to my wife, ask any questions that you need to ask. If you have any doubt, no matter, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be baseball. It can be apartments, whatever it is. Just reach out. Feel free to reach out. And next time I heard from him was after I congratulated him for signing.
That's beautiful. Kike Hernandez and the bond of Puerto Rico is so strong. Even though Puerto Rico is so far away from L.A., Kike Hernandez's locker, I expect to be very close to Edwin Diaz. Don't we need Kike Hernandez underneath the Dodgers Christmas tree again? We need Kike Hernandez back for a three-peat, don't we? It feels like it's not a matter of if, but just when. Does it feel that way to you?
Yeah, but of course I just had surgery and I'm not going to be ready for opening day, so there's no rush.
You're a big Dodgers fan, as you mentioned, Ryan. You and your wife always watching games. I mean, if this year's World Series was a movie script, they would say it was too impossible, right? Too fantastical. What were you thinking while that drama unfolded? Yeah.
You cannot write it. I mean, it's insane. And that's what we love about sports. It's just literally anything can happen. But, oh, my God, like when Yamamoto was, like, getting ready to actually go back out. It's like, if you put that in a script, they would get kicked back by the studio saying, okay, let's just jump it down. It was an extraordinary series, and it had everything. It had everything. And it had heartbreak. I mean, I can say on behalf of all Dodgers fans, I mean, there was heartbreak in there. There was thrills. It was just everything you could possibly want, man. My head's spinning still from it.
I was about to say, Yamamoto, we knew was great. He got $300 million, a major contract. But again, what he was able to do in that spot was still incredible. Which was the more unlikely moment to you? Miguel Rojas going deep or the Andy Pages catch?
Oh my God. I mean, flip a coin, man, because both of them were like absolutely insane. That Pages catch, literally, I think my heart leapt out of my throat, was like beating in front of me, and I had to grab it and put it back in. It was insane, and for a moment I thought, that's it, the game's done, it's over. You know, everybody did. It should have been, and then but Yamamoto, and also the narrative of the Yamamoto, like the fact that earlier in the season he was still kind of finding his feet, and we knew that he was like had all this promise, but it's like, oh, is he pitching a major? And then to finish with that cymbal crash, it's just. Yeah, that's the best it gets, man. It's amazing.
Simple crash is a good way of putting it. The one challenge they thought perhaps for this Dodgers team was the bullpen. Now, Dave Roberts kind of solved that by using his starters, obviously, in relief roles, and then Roki Sasaki was tremendous, who was not expected to be in that role. But what do you make of the Edwin Diaz signing? Arguably the best closer on the market. The Dodgers go, we'll take him for the Mets.
We'll just grab him. I know. Sorry, Mets. I got a buddy who's a big Mets fan, and yeah, he didn't text me for like it's like, It's I mean, the fact that the bullpen like pulled it through in like the postseason. Also, honestly, man, I'm so happy that Kershaw got kind of like a final grace note in a postseason grace note in that series. That just filled my heart with joy, and the fact that he could kind of. Walk off that field with a win. I mean, that was really, really nice. Yeah,
it was a great point. You're like, how much is Dave Roberts going to use him just for a few outs? Just get the job done. And you're right. It's obviously a Hall of Fame career, and he's been a first ballot guy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, and I'm happy he didn't go back out at the end, but I'm happy he had that great moment where he clinched it. It's nice. It's nice to see.
I have to tell you, I talked to Dave Roberts at the winter meetings, and I asked him about the Pages catch, and I said, like, how did you know, Dave? Like, instinctively, you put this guy in the game, and then 2 outs later, he makes arguably the greatest catch in World Series history. And he said, I didn't put him in for his range. I put him in for his arm. I thought there might be a play at the plate, and he'll be able to throw out the guy. I did not put him in thinking he'd have that kind of range. Isn't that unbelievable?
That's unreal. And it's just, the thing is, the other thing is, what wouldn't you pay to just have a feed of a mic in the dugout and just be able to hear, to like have like an inside, literally an inside baseball view of all this stuff. Anytime they mic up the players or we get a little snippet of something, or I watch all those John Boy breakdowns, and it's just like, that's like candy to me. So hearing the thinking behind those decisions, it's wild, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, Tom Verducci, of course, does a great job with MLB Network. And Fox said he was there in the dugout, and he goes, he looked like a teenager. He had the hoodie on, almost like the AirPods in, half asleep. Oh, you're going to the game. Oh, okay, sure. And he goes and thinks again.
You can't write it. It's spectacular. It's amazing. Yeah.
I'm with you. And also, like you, a massive Dodgers fan.
Yeah, there you go. Well, like I said, he's a marvel. He's great. No.
All right, it's time now for some rapid fire questions here with Ryan Johnson. So what is your earliest baseball memory?
My earliest baseball memory is Cubs related, actually. My mom's family was in Mundelein, Illinois, outside of Chicago, and I have memories of watching lying on the rug watching Cubs games with my grandpa in Mundelein, Mundelein, Illinois. I said Colorado. And then I remember going to a game and my grandma bringing rice cakes and bananas because that was her superstition to make the Cubbies win. Don't know if that's a thing.
I love that. That has to stick. I think of the Cubs, and I think of the unique way in which Ryan is spelled, R-I-A-N. And, of course, I think of Ryan Sandberg, R-Y-N-E. I almost wish you'd have that spelling as well. Yeah. Favorite baseball player of all time? Yeah.
Oh my God. Also, I don't have a super. The thing is, I am not like a baseball like know all the teams going way back. I have friends who are like that. So I became a hardcore baseball fan when I met my wife, basically, because she was a hardcore Dodgers fan. So I have like a kind of a shallow bench. I mean, the reality is also, though, it's hard right now to because I don't have like, oh my God, growing up watching this player or that player. I look, though, at Ohtani, and the fact that you can kind of see that we're experiencing history right now with what this guy is doing. I mean, he harkens back to the greats, and it's fun to watch him. I don't know, but there's a few Dodgers that I'm massive fans of. So I love Mookie. I love his attitude on the. He just usually looks like he's having a good time on the field, and that's fun to see.
Yeah, he definitely has a certain joie de vivre. There's no question about it. If you could be in the stands for one game or moment in baseball history, what would it be?
Oh my God. Well, this is the thing is, I'm going for something that's like heartbreak instead of joy, but I think it would be fascinating. I'm a big fan of that 30 for 30 called Catching Hell that was about the Cubs series. And the Bartman catch, and I feel like they captured the energy in there, and that would have been a fascinating place to be in that moment, just as an anthropologist landing back there and feeling the emotions. And that's a cruel answer. I should be saying,
no, I like it. That's a great answer.
To some glorious finish, but if you could go back in a time machine and just study the vibes, like while all that was going down, I feel like that would have been interesting.
That proves you're a true dramatist, taking a moment like that rather than one of joy, but one of absolute pain. Who would make a better baseball manager, Luke Skywalker or Benoit Blanc?
I'm going to say Blanc, because Blanc is more strategic. He's got the 3D math in his head. He can kind of overthink things sometimes, but whereas Luke, you look at young Luke coming up, he does tend to go more on impulse that he has to then tame. I'm gonna go with I'll have Benoit Blanc managing the team.
I love it. He'll look good in the uniform no matter what. Favorite movie plot twist?
Oh boy, well that would be a spoiler, wouldn't it? There's a I'll just say, so one of my favorite movies. This is a little bit more obscure. Michael Caine and Laurence Olivier. Old school movie based on the play, and it has two incredible plot twists in it. So look up Sleuth. I'm not going to spoil them. I won't say what they are, but I'll put my money down there.
And last question: what's your favorite movie of all time?
Oh man, I don't have a favorite movie of all time. I have too many to go through. How about a favorite baseball movie? I'm sure you do that a bunch, huh? Yeah, let's do that. I'm a Moneyball guy. I know some people love it. Bad News Bears is hard to beat. I really love the movie Moneyball, and I adore that movie. I think it's so smart, and also I think at the end of the day, even though it's about kind of how the sausage is made, I find it's an incredibly joyful celebration of a lot of what I love about baseball. So I'll say Moneyball.
It's a great answer. And I love the great late Philip Seymour Hoffman playing Art Howe. He's just always great in every movie he's in, obviously. It's always fun to see. Excellent. Ryan, this was a real blast. Thank you so much for this, and go Dodgers.
Thanks for having me.
Potential lockout December 1st, 2026. How real of a factor is that? Because last time this happened, a lot of guys ended up with some funky deals signed because they were either just trying to get the deal in before the lockout happened so they could get some guaranteed money, or then they're scrambling during spring training when a bunch of teams had already blown their budgets.
Yeah. For this kind of deal, he's going to get market value no matter what, so I don't think it matters for him.
I agree with you. I think the Scoobles of the world get paid what the Scoobles of the world are worth. And it's everybody else that should be a little bit more worried about this, right?
Yeah. It's the second, third tier type of guys, those middling players and the not quite superstar players.
Tim with the super chat. Boris is probably demanding $500 million or more, not $350 million. It's possible, right? Because he knows he's got the Tigers over a barrel to some degree. And he's like, you're going to pay me a premium if you want my guy not to test free agency. Because the other piece that's worth pointing out is for so long, the risk was, well, what if a guy gets hurt? In sports nowadays, that threat is kind of empty. These guys get hurt and then they still get paid the exact same money. Now, if he has a second Tommy John surgery, that would probably cost him a couple $100 million because a second Tommy John surgery is hard to come back from. So that's where I think if you're Scooble, you're probably going to do some sort of math equation in your head and say, it's not like this is a zero risk proposal either. It might be low-ish risk, but it's not zero.
No, totally. And look, if you want to say half of Ohtani's contract was for the pitching side, he got $350 after a second elbow surgery. Yeah. So with that, you could also tell Boris, two of the best pitchers in the league are making less than $400.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can kind of have that negotiation too. But I'm still very torn on this. Like, I'm saying yes now because I just like, you know what? Here, make it. You have 30 seconds to make a call.
Yeah.
Just okay. Let's go get Scooble. But I'm not full on sold on this. Part of the reason though that I would say, like, if the part of me that wants to say yes is because the dude absolutely shoved it in the playoffs.
Yep.
He has a 2 ERA in his postseason career, which was basically just the last 2 seasons. But look, he's pitched 6 games. I'm going to read you his lines. 6 innings, no runs, 6 K. This is in 24. 6 innings, no runs, 6 Ks. This is against Houston. Then against Cleveland, same year, 7 shutout, 8 Ks. 6 innings, 5 earned, was not a great outing, 6 Ks. That's his clunker. And then this season against Cleveland, 7 2/3, 1 run, 14 Ks.
Crazy.
Against Seattle. These are all of these starts are on the road.
Yeah.
All of them. Against Seattle, 7 innings, 2 runs, 9 Ks. Pretty solid start. His last start, and that was in game 7. 6 innings, 1 earned, 13 Ks. All of that gives you a 2.04 ERA in 6 postseason starts, where he's never come out
elite.
Yeah, and he's pitched at least 6 innings in every one of them.
Yeah, it's crazy, and those are important stats for a team like the Dodgers because those are the waters you're going to be swimming in. So you want to know a guy can pitch at that level. So, Peyton asks, if they offer Hope and DePaula, what else would they need to add for Scooble? Like, let's just say the Tigers say, hey, this is a rebuild. We don't really want Tyler Glasnow. We're not interested in a guy who's going to be here for 3 years. Yeah. I don't think you can go get Scooble without Emmett Sheehan being in there. Because if I'm the Tigers, that's the guy who is the only one who falls into a category of, I have seen him shove at the major league level, and he has 4 more years of team control.
Exactly.
Everyone else,
he can be part of that restructuring.
You're either projecting shoving on one hand, or like the team control is winding down already. So I think it's Sheehan. I think it's Hope. I think it's DePaula. I think you just keep going. Like, I think it's Dalton Rushing in this trade also. Maybe it's Alex Freeland. I just think it's going to be like Sheehan, Hope, DePaula, Freeland, and Rushing. I think it's a package like that. And if they want Ferris instead of Freeland, like, it's kind of take your pick on what positions you're interested in. But if Glasnow is not in this, it's going to be like 5 of the top prospects that the Dodgers have. And that's coming from one of the better farm systems in the league. So,
yeah.
Mike says, don't forget our best pitcher from 2024 is coming back fully healthy, Gavin Stone, who could easily take over after Glasnow Sheehan if traded. I love Gavin Stone. I am a big believer in what he has inside of him. The shoulder thing terrifies me. Shoulder injuries are, I'm not saying it's impossible to come back from. I'm just saying you mess up your whole shoulder. And again, we reported here. We were the ones who talked to him at spring training. I asked about what happened in the shoulder, and we kind of broke the news that it wasn't a simple shoulder surgery. I think his quote was, it was basically everything in there got replaced. That's terrifying. We haven't heard firm updates on how he's doing coming back from that. I am desperately hoping he's okay because he was freaking awesome. But I think with Gavin Stone, more so than River Ryan, who's coming back from Tommy John, which is pretty straightforward in 2025, I think Stone, the health piece is what worries me a little bit.
Yeah, there's massive reason for concern there. We've seen these shoulder surgeries derail aces in their prime.
Yeah.
Because they're so difficult to come back from. If this was Tommy John, your confidence level is way higher that he returns to what he was and can continue to progress and develop. The shoulder stuff is like, you just kind of got to wait and see.
Yeah. It's hilarious. I'm just on Twitter right now. Rays have discussed Ryan Pepio, Shane Baz in a Ketel Marte trade. So it's funny, we're talking about Glasnow and Pepio, who was sent in exchange for Glasnow, might be headed to Arizona. J-Rod says, do whatever it takes. I want to ruin baseball. There you go. So
that's an attitude that a lot of fans are taking, and I'm not here to tell you that that's a wrong attitude. I will say though that they're ruining baseball without Tarek Skubal too. And that is part of the, okay, do I need to give up that much? Because I have other holes I need to fill. And can I use those guys? And maybe including one or two of those guys as an overpay for someone else, but you have other needs. The rotation right now is not one of them.
Yep. Agreed. And I think the thing you have to take into account if you're the Dodgers is they are trying so hard to thread the needle, and they have done it better than probably any team in modern history at pushing your chips to the center of the table. I was going to
say ever, yeah.
And winning now, because they know Freddie's contract is coming to an end. They know Mookie's prime is coming to an end. They know Max Muncy's prime is coming to an end. And so they're trying to win. Like, these guys are here now. It's not just about, like, winning the NL West 20 years in a row. It's about winning as many titles as you can win. And yet, if you hit on some of these prospects that would be going out in a Tarek Skubal trade, those chips to the center, those are the guys that make it so that NL West titles and World Series titles 5 years from now, right? Like, there's always going to be more guys you can sign, but that you've got to balance this. And I know it's impossible because you're trying to win now, but it's like trading all these guys for Skubal. Right. How much does that impact your World Series odds today versus how much are your World Series odds boosted 2 years from now by still having Hope, DePaula, Rushing, and Sheehan in the system?
Right. And Ohtani has 8 more years, and Yamamoto has 10 more years. Like, you want to keep winning long term, and to sustain that, you're going to need some of these young guys to hit.
Out of curiosity, does trading for a pitcher and signing him to like an 8 to 10 year contract scare you? Because a pitcher, because of the arm stuff, it just, and I guess I would say even impact on a baseball game once every 5 days, Dodgers case 6 or 7 days. But like, there's something about like, if they're going and trading for a position player that makes me less nervous than giving $350, $400 million to Skubal. Skubal's a much better player at his position than Kyle Tucker. And I'm not saying I would pay Tucker more money than I would pay Skubal, but there's something about getting Tucker and knowing that like the injury risk is far less and he's going to play every single day that somehow scares me less, I think, than handing a $400 million contract to a pitcher, even if he's a stud.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in the same boat as you there. And also along like this Yamamoto deal at the end is going to get probably ugly. But we're okay with that. Like,
and he's also 25, 26. Like, Skubal's going to be 31 by the time this one starts.
Exactly. And you build that in. You build that into the expectation. But the reason why, yes, it is harder because the last, let's say Skubal here. Let's say you trade for him tomorrow and you extend him the next day. And that extension is let's say it's 7 years. So you have him for 8.
Yeah.
That takes him into his age 37 season, something like that. Let's say from ages 35, 36, 37 are going to be real ugly. And there's a real possibility that he doesn't even, from a performance standpoint, doesn't deserve to be in your rotation, but you're paying him that much money and you got to throw him.
I mean, I think if you're at that point, I think the Dodgers have, I don't know if they do it to a stud like that, but I don't think the Dodgers are, we've got to throw this guy because we're paying him this money. I think if he stunk. If he was cooked, I think they'd find a way to make things go away.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen them face that, right? It's
I was just going to say that they haven't come to that crossroads with anybody yet.
Chris Taylor's the closest, but obviously we're not talking about back-to-back Cy Young guy, although a guy who had done a lot for the organization.
But also a guy who wasn't making $30 million.
Making like 16 mil or something like that, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, not cheap.
ご視聴いただきありがとうございました。今回の動画はいかがでしたか？あなたのご意見やご感想をぜひコメント欄で教えてください。当チャンネル MLB 侍放送局はこれからも大谷翔平選手や山本由伸選手、日本人メジャーリーガーたちの最新情報やニュースを翻訳して皆さんにお届けしてまいります。活動の励みになりますので、チャンネル登録や高評価での応援をよろしくお願いいたします。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。